you sick of political corruption? Well, Assemblyman Mike Panter is, so he's fighting back and speaking out.
When politicians break the law, they belong behind bars. If they're convicted of corruption, public officials should go to jail and lose their pensions.
So Mike wrote the law requiring mandatory sentences and forfeiture of pensions. Now he's fighting for 20-year sentences and $500,000 fines for the worst offenders.
Any way you slice it, double dipping is just another way to pick taxpayers' pockets. Nobody's entitled to hold more than one office or deserves to collect more than one pension.
That's why Panter wrote and fought to pass a law banning dual office holding and double dipping in the state pension system.
We've made a lot of progress, but we still need tougher penalties and stronger enforcement. So there's a lot more we have to do.
Assemblyman Mike Panter, getting the job done.
Attention voters of the 14th District. Our new clean election law is under attack by outside special interests. A right-wing shadow group is spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to undermine clean elections by attacking our Assemblywoman Linda Greenstein, who's fighting to drive special interest money out of politics. The group, calling themselves Common Sense America, won't disclose who they are, how they're funded, or how much they're spending to distort Greenstein's record on taxes. Official accounts clearly prove their accusations are simply not true. But like all special interests, they're desperate to defeat reformers like Linda Greenstein and Wayne D'Angelo, who are fighting to clean up Trenton. So use your own common sense. Fringe groups will say anything, but if they won't even admit who they are, why would you believe anything they say? Support clean elections. Support Linda Greenstein and Wayne D'Angelo.
Jack Hill opposes background checks on criminal aliens. It's true. Sheriff candidate Jack Hill told the Asbury Park Press that he opposes background checks on criminal aliens, even though it's been proven background checks will save lives. Even worse, Jack Hill's team also supports early release for convicted felons. That's liberal. That's Jack Hill. Monmouth County needs a sheriff who will lock up criminals and keep them there. That's Kim Guadagno. Kim Guadagno is a tough prosecutor who's thrown corrupt politicians in prison. As sheriff, Guadagno will continue to fight crime. Guadagno will put criminal aliens in jail and keep them there. And Guadagno will oppose early release for convicted felons. The difference is clear. Jack Hill will let criminals free. Kim Guadagno will keep them in jail.
This is Senator Joe Carrillos. It's been a great honor serving Monmouth and Middlesex counties in the Senate. Having Assemblymember Sam Thompson and Amy Hanlon by my side has been very important. I've worked hard to try to make the changes needed to reduce high property taxes and other taxes and to change the system so our middle-income schools get their fair share of state aid.
Senator Joe Carrillos is recipient of the Taxpayers Advocate Award by the New Jersey Taxpayers Association.
One of our most crucial challenges is to make New Jersey more competitive so businesses will want to stay here and move here and create good-paying jobs. Not everyone in Trenton sees it the way I do, but I'm going to keep fighting to help fix a broken state government.
Senator Joe Carrillos, Assembly Members Sam Thompson and Amy Hanlon. A new direction to make New Jersey smart and affordable.
And Civic. New Jersey has the highest state sales tax in the nation, and Bob Gordon voted for it. Yes! And the 9% income tax? You guessed it, Bob Gordon voted for that, too. Right on! And the $500 small business tax, the home sale tax, the cell phone tax, and the tire tax. Bob Gordon voted for those also. Why not? The more the merrier. New driving fees, health insurance taxes, gym taxes, plastic surgery taxes, hotel motel taxes, 94 taxes in all. And Bob Gordon voted yes 94 times in a row. Yes! Yes, I can't stop! Bob Gordon came to Trenton with Jim McGreevey and voted for every single tax hike. Every one. Everyone! Yup, I'm a good boy. This is Bob Coletti. Like you, I'm fed up with New Jersey's high taxes and big spending liberal politicians like Bob Gordon and John Corzine. It's time for a change in Trenton. Bob Coletti for Senate. Bob Coletti. He'll stand up to Corzine and put taxpayers first.
Nelly and Assembly members Rooney and Vandervalk. They stand up for taxpayers like us. They voted no to the bloated state budget. And they're fighting for a new school funding formula that could cut property taxes in Bergen County as much as 30%.
Don't their opponents have a plan?
No, but I do know this. They don't work for taxpayers.
Prove it.
Joe Arian is part of the corrupt political machine in Bergen County. He's got 3 taxpayer-paid jobs, free health and dental benefits, and 2 pensions. And he doesn't even have to show up for work.
Well, that's one down, but what about the others?
Well, Carl Manna raised property taxes 31% in his town, and Esther Fletcher raised spending 20% in hers.
We sure can't afford that.
I know. I'm sticking with Cardinelli, Rooney, and Vandervalk. They're looking out for taxpayers.
There's sounds you hear every day all across Nassau County. Let's get loading, guys. With the Democrats in charge, Nassau County taxes are up 38%. The Democrats ran up government spending nearly $1 billion. And now Nassau County taxpayers face another massive budget deficit.
Just leave the toys in the box, Joey. They gotta go in the truck.
With the Democrats in charge, Nassau taxpayers suffer under the second highest taxes in the nation, the highest in the state. Republicans have a plan to change that, a 5-year reassessment freeze to put the brakes on massive tax hikes. But the Nassau Democrats won't even allow a vote on the Republican reassessment freeze.
Oh, come on, kids. You'll make new friends.
It's time to stop letting high taxes drive homeowners away from Nassau County. It's time to freeze reassessments. The Democrats had their chance. This year, vote Republican.
I don't think I said we did an accident. I had to just get a wet spot on the highway and a hydroplane, and I came across the road.
This is the Taxpayer Minute with Mayor Steve Monaghan, brought to you by Americans for Prosperity.
I talked before about question 2 on this November's ballot that will bond $500 million for risky embryonic stem cell research that, unlike other stem cell research, has not produced any cures in over 35 years. But there's more. When sales tax revenues aren't sufficient to pay back these bonds, Trenton politicians can create a new statewide property tax to pay them back. It's right in the bill, and it gets even worse. The wording allows the legislature to create a new personal property tax, meaning new taxes on your car and other personal items can come to New Jersey if question 2 passes. Governor Corzine's Wall Street buddies won't invest in embryonic stem cell research, but they want you to through higher property taxes. That's the bottom line. A yes vote on this year's bond issue means higher taxes on working people like me and you. Learn more by going to taxpayerminute.com.
John D'Amico raised taxes 64%.
John D'Amico raised taxes 64%?
That's right. John D'Amico raised taxes 64%.
Who's John D'Amico?
He's running for Monmouth County freeholder, and he raised taxes 64%.
Wow, that's a lot.
And that's not all. As a freeholder, D'Amico supported toxic ocean dumping off Monmouth County beaches.
D'Amico raised taxes 64% and supported ocean dumping off Monmouth County beaches?
That's right. D'Amico raised taxes 64% and supported ocean dumping off our beaches. And there's more.
More?
The D'Amico team opposes conducting background checks on criminal aliens detained by our police.
John D'Amico, tax increases, ocean dumping, soft on crime? Is it true?
It's true. Go to DeMicosRecord.com and check the facts yourself.
Well, actually, Tim, the archives is moving as rapidly as the archives moves. There's about 20 million pieces of paper there, and they are moving and they are releasing as they do their process, and I am fully in favor of that.
But there was a letter written by President Clinton specifically asking that any communication between you and the President not be made available to the public until 2012. Would you lift that ban?
Well, that's not my decision to make, and I don't believe that any president or first lady ever has, but certainly we'll move as quickly as our circumstances and the processes of the National Archives permits.
It's time to play Who's for Taxpayers? Question 1. This candidate for Senate has 3 taxpayer-paid jobs, gets free health and dental benefits, 2 pensions, and doesn't have to show up to work.
Joe Arian, and he got his jobs after contributing big money to the corrupt political machine.
That's right. Now for question 2. This candidate for Senate voted no to the wasteful state budget and sponsored legislation that would return Bergen County tax dollars to Bergen County schools to cut property taxes as much as 30%.
Easy. Senator Jerry Cardinelli.
That's right. Jerry Cardinelli has been Trenton's strongest voice to protect taxpayers and cut property taxes. Now Now for question 3. The Trenton tax and spend bosses are paying for his negative Senate campaign.
Is it Joe Arian?
Yes, it is. In fact, the Trenton tax and spend bosses are spending so much on Arian's campaign that he'll be their puppet.
That means Arian will vote yes to higher sales and gas taxes and no to pay-to-play ethics reform.
And don't forget, Arian will have to support sending our tax dollars to Newark and Camden, driving up property taxes here at home.
I'm sticking with Senator Cardinelli. He's for tax pay.